you know, once in a while. Now, well, we should do it on a daily basis. If we just stay home and watch TV, and sometimes this is our idea of relaxation, and basically social media and all of those things, it's very depressing. So what I do every morning is that I take a walk. I take a 1 hour walk, and you could be anywhere. I mean, it could be along the beach or just walk in the park. Walking is, I mean, when you walk, you're already exercising the most important vehicle that you have, the body, which is, you don't need to think so much. You just simply make the steps, and exercise is one of the best exercises you have. If you're not into calisthenics, or you're not into yoga, or you're not into any other workout, just walk instead of doing the walker in the gym, right? You're just constrained in a, what do you call this, in a hotel or in an inside air-conditioned room, listening to music. Try to take a walk, and basically without any music. And the reason for that, you would want to be able to wander and just be with yourself, and be able to start listening to, you know, nature. You start listening to your thoughts, and this is very important because it gives you some form of a break. It clears your mind. You know, sometimes when I'm very stressed about a lot of things, you know, there's so many things that could stress us out, I would just immediately just leave my phone, take a walk. Don't bring your phone with you, because I see people, you know, walking and they're on the phone. It's like you gotta leave behind all the things that's causing you stress. So these are simple things that you could actually do to improve yourself, you know. Take a walk, and you could even bring a book, or you could bring your meditation, your rosary bead, or your meditation bead, and while you're walking, you could actually engage your mind in meditation, in chanting mantras. It would definitely clear your mind, purify yourself. Read a book, you know, go under a tree, read a book. Take a notebook, you know, with a pen. I always try to write all my intentions, you know, my intentions for the day. I always have an intention for the whole year, which I do that, you know, on New Year's Day, write all my intentions. And it's kind of like becomes my guide. It's like your GPS, you know, like your intentions. Of course, with the intentions, beside the intentions, I put like actions I need to take to fulfill those intentions, because you got to marry these two, intention and action. So it's described that intention is the feminine energy, and action is the, you know, masculine energy. So you wanna combine these two for you to be able to achieve things that you like to achieve, whatever project that is you have. So you either with your work, or of course for me the biggest project always is improving myself. That's like the biggest culprit. The most difficult project I've ever embarked upon is actually improving myself, because you're the worst enemy you could have. It's easier to improve others. It's easy to engage in so many other projects, except for this project I call self project. You know, that's the most difficult project. So you gotta put some time in improving this project here, this self project, or whatever you want to call it, like the Japa project, or whatever your name is. That would be your biggest project. So improving that. And you know, it's just the little things. It's just the little things. Giving up cigarette smoking, for example, that's a big challenge for a lot of you. Drinking alcohol, we all know this is really like bad habits. It's not good for us. So it's not good for the people around us. It's not good for your kids to see you smoking, because they're going to do the same thing. Whatever we do, our children just follow that. So if you want to be successful, you want to be a leader that people would want to follow. So when I speak of personal development, this is part of it, giving up our bad habits. But you cannot just give up bad habits without replacing them with positive habits or good habits. So you give up a bad habit, you must replace it with a good habit. For example, people who like to fidget and smoke, replace that with holding a beads, a mantra beads. Replace that with meditation. I know it's difficult. It's not easy. I've met people who's been into this smoking addiction or drug addiction. It's very difficult. I understand it's very difficult, but it takes strength, and for you to get that strength, you must also associate with the right people. And this one key for personal development, and this is one key for success, is that you have to be surrounding yourself with the people you'd like to be. It is said if you have 5 people in the room and they're all smokers, you're the 6th smoker to be. If you have 5 drinkers, alcohol drinkers in the room, you'll be the 5th one. You'll be the 6th one. If you have successful people who's focusing on developing themselves, right, you would be the 6th one. So look for your association. Look for those people you would like to associate with, who you would like to become. Concern if you want to be a devotee of God, or you want to be a spiritualist, a practitioner of yoga, then you have to associate with those type of people. So it's a simple, this talk that I'm having today is meant to, how do I develop myself in 30 days? You could develop yourself in 30 days, but you gotta take on those simple steps, beginning with walking if you're not walking, okay? Beginning with, eating the right food, giving up sugar, for example, giving up sodas, which is full of sugar, giving up, junk food, for example. But how to do that? How to replace that? Then, you gotta. There's right now the social media is full of information. It's amazing the kind of information we get today regarding health is just in the click of our hands, which is something before people had to buy an encyclopedia. Today, the encyclopedia, more than the encyclopedia, the AI, right, artificial intelligence, is at the pick of our finger, and anything we want to know about anything about health, you could simply ask ChatGPT, and it would tell you, what's going to be good for you in terms of your health, whatever challenges you're having. So what I'm just saying right now, that if there's any time in the world for personal development to be much easier, it's today. But of course, we're also bombarded with so many other distractions and stuff, distractions. And so we need to learn to be able to focus, So those are the things. So, write your intentions and do one thing at a time, one step at a time, and you'll achieve success. You could start right now. Like my previous talk, I was talking about do it now. You want to give up smoking? Don't stop smoking next week. Stop now. You want to stop drinking? Stop now. You want to stop eating meat? Stop now. Don't do it tomorrow. Don't do it next day. You got to do it now. And go through that withdrawals, because we have so many addictions. And meat eating is an addiction. Smoking is an addiction. Drinking is an addiction. Right, even vegetarians, we have addiction. I had to give up. I remember I used to drink sodas a lot when I was young, but even that I have to give up because I knew sugar is an addiction. Chocolate is an addiction as well. So we try to give up those addictions that causes, bad health and causes us to not able to focus on the things we need to focus on. So those are the, you could make your 30-day development. You could make your, there's really no rule to it, right? All the ingredients are there, but you need to sit down and write, okay, what will I do today? What will I do tomorrow? Consistent. You start walking, try to do it every day, right? You sleep certain time of the day. Right, you make sure you get enough sleep. So try to sleep before 10, but you got to do it consistently. And sometimes you might not be able to sleep right away because you're used to sleeping late. Sleep 10 o'clock. I mean, be ready, meaning you have to prepare yourself for sleep. By 9 o'clock, try preparing yourself to sleep. No more cell phones. Put your cell phones, the notification, out of your room, right? No more watching movie at 9 o'clock. You just prepare, drink your melatonin, dim the lights, turn off the lights, start relaxing, breathe yourself. So there's a whole preparation even for you to get to sleep. That's how bad it is right now. People have insomnia, and we gotta like even make a whole preparation. Like it takes me an hour to prepare for me to go to sleep at night because there's just so many distractions that I want to do at night, especially watching, series. So you want to try to just, okay, I need to get sleep. And 10 o'clock is the best time to sleep because you'll have a whole 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. Then you could wake up early, try to catch the morning sun, the first thing. Catch the morning sun because the morning sun is the best. Don't be scared of the sun. The sun would not give you cancer. It's the lotions that you put. It's those company who made those lotions that told us the sun could cause you cancer. That's a lot of bull. It's not true. Okay, the sun is good for your heart, good for everything. It's how we rejuvenate, it's how we recharge, and the morning sun is very important. And most of us don't even get a sun anymore, especially if you live most of the time indoors or in the condominiums. So try to get sun in the morning, and your whole perspective of life would change just from this, going back to nature. Take off your shoes, just walk in the beach, walk in the grass barefooted, ground yourself. All of those, you just, just like the other day I was just talking to my wife about all the stuff that I learned from my grandmother. You know what I mean? My grandmother doesn't like wearing shoes. She wants to walk on the ground. And I was like, what is this? This is like backwards, you know what I mean? Why is she not wearing? But realizing now, my gosh, she's still carrying the old ways of the elders, how to be healthy. She lived like 96 years old. Why? She was always barefooted, you know what I mean? And she ate simple, mainly vegetarian food. She didn't stress herself with so many things, very simple, And so if we go back and actually try to learn from our elders, their ways, then we could somehow, reset. Because we need to do a lot of resetting. And wherever you are, whatever place you live, so you just got to find that time, right? So you got to really question yourself, what is important to you? What is so important to you? What is so important than your health? What is more important than your health? What's more important than your relationship? What's more important than having spiritual knowledge, information about our Creator? Because everything material, we would just leave behind. See? So if you somehow look into the real important stuff, then you'll find yourself grounding yourself. You'll end up grounding yourself, just like today, we're more interested in our career than our children, yeah. And so when we go back to our children, they're gone because they grow really fast. But we didn't spend time with them. Why? Because no, I have my career. I need to do this for what? Money that you could not even take. The house, right? What are you going to do with a big house if there's no family members who's going to live in it? So reset. Check your priorities again. So for me, this is a constant struggle, even for me. And I'm not an expert in telling people how to live their lives, but in my experience, I'm just sort of like, when I speak to you right now, I'm just also simply reminding myself the importance of, resetting, the importance for me to be curious again. Curiosity is so important because it's how your mind gets to wonder. We need to wonder how things work. When we see the sun, we should wonder how beautiful it is, or how is it working, how is it sustaining lives. When we walk on the ground, when we drink water, when everything is such a wonder. And if you have this attitude when everything is so wonderful around you, just the leaf, how this thing grows from this plant, it's just a wonder, you know, how plant grows, how it synthesizes, how it just produces fruit or flowers. It's a wonder. And when we start wondering like this, we grow. Our mind grows. Our brain grows. Why? Because you're seeking, you're asking questions. And because you're seeking and you're wondering, and this is how how a child grows up. He's just curious about everything. His curiosity is just there. He just asks for everything. You know, he tries to learn everything. But we've stopped becoming curious, yeah, as we grow. So to reset ourselves, we should go back to the old ways. Be curious, always wonder. Not just wonder, but also wander wander to the forest, walk alone, wander into the mountains, you know, get some time alone, me alone, and, you know, have some fasting from social media. Get your phone fast. I call it phone fasting. Like, for one day, I won't even want to look at my phone for one day. Try this, and it's just such a stress relief. No phone for one day. If something important, they gotta call somebody you know, you know. But you see, the world continues without you having a phone. But it just relieves you of a lot of things, you know. Go for a massage. Take a walk with your wife, walk with your dog, walk with your child. It's just so many things you could do. It's just endless. And I'm just going to be rambling here, talking about how you could improve yourself. But that really is something that you have to privately have a discussion with yourself on this. Right? What is important to you? Thank you so much.